What's up, everyone? I am here and I'm going to react to a bunch of things. I know my pod is a little spotty, it's going through some growing pains. Seems like it's picking up again. I just have to figure out what I want to spend my time on. Do I want to interview people or do I just want to rant? Probably a little bit of both, but I feel that you guys like it when I delve into topics that are a little conspiratorial. And I feel like if I can give more time to things and really kind of flesh them out and do a good amount that week on something that's pretty long and half of it on YouTube and half of it on Patreon, I think that's good. So that's what I'm working on. I'm just going through I'm just driving around LA and I'm just so depressed, man. Like, I'm with my girlfriend and we're just like, there's so many things for lease, there's so many things that are barren, and then there's some beautiful things. Like, it's just sad. I know things are changing, but I don't know. And it's like they're announcing this new movie or that movie, and I'm like, I can't look at the Fall Guy poster and get excited. Like, I think Ryan Gosling is a beautiful movie star, and so is Emily Blunt, but I'm like, I just see it as a distraction. Something has happened to me, and I am completely red pilled. I don't know. The veil has been pierced with me, and it's just, things just aren't the same with me anymore. And I'm driving around. Los Angeles is different. The business is different. The neighborhoods are different. The vibe is different. And I even if I was on movie sets right now, I'm telling you, I don't, in good conscience, think I would have a good time. Like, I'm not saying it would be terrible, but either I'm deep in a conspiracy bubble or I'm just feeling what's really happening. And it's like, how can people sit there and do stuff and get excited about it? Well, we don't even know, like, if there's going to be an election. Like, that's how I really feel. Here's an example. Like, right now, like, as I'm doing this, I was going to rant, and I'm just like, let me just time it out. As I was doing this, I was going to go off live, and I'm like, I got to calm down. Israel is now attacking Iran. Iran attacked Israel the other night, okay? If you believe in stuff that they always say, the Bible and stuff, which I've never really read at all, ever, they say the end of the world starts somewhere in the Middle East, and it feels like, I'm not saying it's going to be. We've always had conflicts over there, but it's a weird time. And that's happening. As that's happening, I'm just going to tell you the truth, okay? Like, what I believe. And I'm trying to go slow with you so you don't, like, judge me. And Jim Brewer was on Roseanne's pod this week, and it was awesome. And I suggest anyone who thinks like me to watch it. And if you don't, you should try it anyway, because it's great what they talk about. And as Israel is attacking Iran, people are talking about Taylor Swift's album that's going to drop. And I'm like, but then I took a second. There's three things they're talking about. They're talking about Taylor Swift's album. They're talking about Kevin Hart. And they're talking about Zuck. So we're on the brink of some crazy shit potentially, right? Whatever you feel, you've got the leading front runner for the president of the United States in court for a sex non-crime. You've got the leader of the free world mumbling and jumbling, talking, going, well, my man, right? I just Scranton, man. My old man You got that. You've got Israel and Iran fighting. We got our country that said, don't fight Iran because we're not going to back you. I'm driving around. LA is barren. It's getting nice, but it's also barren. And these things are happening, and people are talking about Taylor Swift, Kevin Hart, and Zuck. So let's go down the rabbit hole. First thing is, I was going to get really mad. And I am a little mad. But then I started using sense. How on God's green earth could people talk about such dumb shit? And I'm not talking about the people. I love those people. talk about such pop culture shit as the deepest shit is happening. Now, you're going to say stuff has been happening all your whole life. Yes. But not to this capacity where people feel like there's not going to be an Israel anymore, or there's not going to be a Gaza Strip. They feel like it's all going to be blown up. And if that happens, it's just there's people in Columbia University right now just sitting in, and like people are they're threatening to be expelled. They're like, we don't care. There's people, pro-Israel people are fighting with pro-Palestine people. And it's never been this tense in terms of the oppressed fighting each other, two oppressed groups, and not that I can remember like this. And why am I telling you all this? Because if you sit there and if you think this shit is happening that's so intense that could have implications around the world, the crypto market is dropping. It doesn't mean it's going to be regular, but it's happening. Gold prices are up. It could be temporary, but this is because of people are scared. If you believe that is happening, which it is, and if you don't believe that when you give these pop culture things so much weight, at first I was mad at people for taking the bait, but I'm wondering now if all these social media things make things trend just to distract us. Like, as much as you want to say, oh, it's many people are typing about Taylor Swift's album, I have faith in humanity, but not that much to think that why something crazy is happening, that Taylor Swift is being pumped out by X and not normal people talking. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm starting to think it can't be normal people talking, right? Like, that, the woman who's get the most press of anyone in the history of the world, like, God bless her soul, like, she says she's going to drop an album and people are losing their minds when there's wars happening and it's trending. So I understand how powerful and big she is, but are people that caught up with something like that? Like, I'm not saying she's not great, but there's a time and a place. That's all. And then there's a rapper I never heard of, this really pretty girl from Atlanta, and she's in a club with Usher, who I love Usher, and Usher's blowing out hookah smoke or something, and Kevin Hart's just standing there. And I'm going like, if you don't think, like, is this real? Like, I don't know why everyone's trending when all this is, I don't know why they're trending right now anyway without all this other stuff happening. So I'm like, what is going on? And I'm like, oh, I know what it is. This is the conspiracy now. Drop everybody and to distract. So the chess pieces are being placed while this is happening over here. That's what I believe. I really do believe that. I believe that it's hitting me more and more every day that the world is just a chessboard. Most people are playing checkers, and a few people are playing chess. And I think that the movie the movie They Live is a documentary. I really believe that. I really believe that, and I'm going to do a whole pod on how it all ties together. And it's already been said by the great minds, but it really is tied together, and I can't unsee it. And maybe I've lost my mind, but I haven't. I'm just, these last 4 years of all the different things that have happened, haven't we all been woken up to some capacity? And I just feel like they put the pawns out to just distract you. And I just wonder if people eat it up or they actually make it look like people are eating it up. Because I don't know a lot of people that are consuming this stuff. I know they're consuming the search for the truth. Tons of people hit me up about stuff. And I'm about to do another show with Jay Dyer and his wife. And the fans have been incredible. And they really like it. It's going to be the 22nd of June in Las Vegas. Very limited tickets. It will sell out. Hell, if it sells out, we'll do another one. It's hard because it's a 5-hour show. Him and his wife give incredible dissertations about just all of this stuff. And then I do comedy a little bit, but then I go into it too. And it's just wild times, man. And I just don't understand how people can't see it, or they do. And it's just not 1998 anymore. We just have too much information at our fingertips. So you can't be in the dark anymore, and I think that's what people do. They, whatever you want to say about me, I was I always knew some stuff was happening, like, but I never knew like dark, nefarious stuff that would be like too mind bending for me. But all I had was auditions and, I'd do press for my movies, with the only place you could do press. And then you watch your movie and then you get the videotape of your movie. And then you go to a party. And the internet was so young when I came into prominence, and social media didn't come on for another 8 years. And it really didn't thrive. 8 years, 96, 8 years, 204. Instagram, I think, is when it popped, but Instagram really didn't start popping until 2015, 2016, 2017, 7 years ago. I think 7 years ago. And then TikTok was Musically before that. In the last 4 years, since the pandemic now, social's never been stronger. And that's why it's just constant information. And I just can't believe people aren't getting the information and not making their own decisions. So here's another example. I'm ranting before I react to videos, but RFK, okay? I could play a video, but it doesn't even matter. His whole family came out against him and said, don't vote for RFK, vote for Biden. Are you nuts? Like, I don't know who I'm going to vote for or if I'm even going to vote. Like, I think it's the big alien god in the sky that controls everything. But, like, here is the simplest thing. That family that is saying that about, beware of the people that are scared of a lone voice. Robert F. Kennedy is a lone voice. Do you think he's related to me? That's up to you to decide, okay? He has a comedy tour. I'm not even a part of it. It has nothing to do with that. I'm just speaking for common sense. Why, if this guy is so not right, why would he go against his family? Why would he go? He's not even going against his family. He's just saying what he believes. This is a man whose uncle was assassinated, whose father was assassinated. The family has multiple tragedies. Many things have happened. 100 years, 150 years worth of things, to the point where I know about them because people think I'm related, so they always bring them up to me. There's just, from Chappaquiddick, so many different things. And I don't even know, I'm speaking from the hip here, what his condition is with his voice. Now, let's use common sense here, okay? He has a condition with his voice, and it's some kind of, condition that he's had, I believe, his whole life that affects his speech. Well, the lead sister that's coming against him has the same affliction. So let me ask you something. I want to put this out there. And again, when I talk to you about things that I may get pushback, I try to use it in the most common sense way, okay? This man has a very, very intense affliction that he's overcoming. It's not stopping him to become the voice of reason, okay? His sister, I believe, also has this because I listened to her talk. When you have something like that, when you're in a family and you have a twin, they say nothing's tighter than twins. Okay, twins, because they share almost a brain, a consciousness, and they are literally twins. Okay, so they're connected. So I'm not saying that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is twin with his sister, but to be the brother of someone who also had all of the trauma happen to her as it did to him. You want to talk about trauma bonding? It's a real thing. Trauma bonding has to do with knacking. Knacking is very simple. Neurological conditioning. Tony Robbins bases his whole philosophy off of it. It's really simple. A car crashes in front of you and it's playing Twisted Sister. We're not going to take it. You are never going to get Twisted Sister out of your head because it is aligned with a neurological programming through a traumatic event. It's literally science. That's the science you should trust. How many people come up to me and say, They remember Malibus. Why? Because this guy said it last week because it was the first time he ever made out with a girl in a movie theater. And that was the movie they told their parents they were going to because it was PG-13. And he made out with the chick. And he's like, that was my first date ever. And he's like, your movie. He's connected to my movie forever because it's called an event that affects you neurologically. Okay, it's not an NPC event. So what am I trying to tell you is if you have assassinations, murders, part of an elite family, crazy connections, but not only that, the same affliction, the same affliction that your brother has. You are so bonded through pain, okay? Through pain. Use common sense. That's not many people. I've never heard that condition that they share. They are so bonded. They both have a wild condition. When my parents died, me and my siblings weren't as close, but when they died, we got closer. Why? Because we're bonded through my parents passing. We remember them through our own eyes. We look at each other's eyes and see our parents. I didn't get farther away from my fucking siblings. I got closer. We have moments, but we understand there's a bigger picture here. So RFK, it goes back to that. He's so connected to the lead woman who's talking shit about him. This is insanity. Everything he talks about, he brings so much facts. Why would he could just be a lawyer, make tens of millions of dollars every year doing huge cases. I forget the type of lawyer it is, but it's a contingency thing. And he's not doing $10 million cases, he's doing $1 billion class action lawsuits. Okay. He could just do that, shut up, play golf, do pull-ups, be married to his hot wife who's a huge star, and call it a day. He doesn't have to disrupt anything. So either he's another pawn, going back to the beginning, on the chessboard to fuck with this, but I guess this to disrupt for the Democrats because he's going to help the Republicans, or he's a guy that actually has integrity. I'm going with the latter. I believe he's a person who's seen a ton of insanity because he's been on a lot of podcasts, and our community and everyone has co-signed him. And everything I've seen about him, he makes sense medically. He backs everything up. He talks about, you want to talk about the whole mass pharma thing? I can't talk about it. The fact that I can't even talk about it because I will have a problem on this platform should show you that it's corrupt. I'm talking about it because it is corrupt, but I can't talk about it because it's corrupt. That's it. Like, if you can't say something, you're corrupt. That's corrupt if you're limiting speech. So everyone wants to shut him up, but just look what he talks about. He has more knowledge than anyone on a lot of these topics, and yet he's crazy? No. And I'm not even saying I'm voting for him. I'm just saying he is a great metaphor for all of the people that cannot look at things with a non-biased eye. They can't just, they're so loyal to their beliefs or their labels or some stupid shit or their stupid networks that you can't just look and listen to a man and go, that makes sense. Just listen to his take on why children what happens if you mandate vaccinations for children, why that's so important from a bureaucratic business pharma. Just look at it. Just Google that, and you'll, if that does not ring home the corruption which he's exposing, then I don't know what to tell you. Then I'm alone in this world. So if his whole family is going against him, I'm with that guy. It's just like everyone's going against Trump, trying to arrest him, take him down. I'm with that guy. You know what I mean? You put them on a ticket together, I'll more than vote. I will campaign. And I don't care what you call me. I'll go to Thanksgiving at Kid Rock's house and have pie at Dorchester afterwards in Massachusetts. All right? Because it just doesn't, it's something stinks. You can't go after two people so hard and then all the lemmings, just the lemmings, the educational lemming, judgmental, arrogant system. It's like it's arrogance really, really, really makes me very angry. And that's what I think a lot of people on the left are, this faux arrogance, where they really don't understand what it's like to get into the shit. Robert F. Kennedy is 7 years old, and he's in physical fucking specimen. And he's also went to Harvard. And he, you can say his name helped, but he fucking came out with flying colors. You're dealing with a formidable opponent. And the same thing with Trump. They showed the whole bodega thing. Biden had a fucking following. And it's not even Biden. It's just like, I hate this stuff of not fairness reporting. So that's where I'm at, but there's a new Taylor Swift album, and they just dropped Fallout on Prime. What is Rebel Moon? I just keep seeing signs on Sunset for Rebel Moon. Why? Who cares? Seriously, what is it? I mean, I have a couple meetings about movies. I should take them, but I'm just disenfranchised at the moment. I'm disenfranchised with people. Disenfranchised how people just really don't look at things from a perspective. There was a guy sitting at this restaurant tonight, and he's just, I don't know, he just rubbed me the wrong fucking way. He looked like an agent or some shit. And he had a dumb watch on. You never need to wear a watch again. That's dumb. You have the phone is your time. So if you're wearing a watch, you just want to flex. If you're wearing a watch, you're a douchebag. You never need to wear a watch again. You don't need a watch. It's literally a douchebag move, okay? If you want to smoke a cigar, that makes you feel good. I get it. But you're sitting there with your dumb wife and your dumb brother-in-law, and you're dumb, and the guy just had no sense of humor about him. And I'm like, and he had to play the part. I go to this place in Beverly Hills, and I get the best food there. And you know what I love? It's one of the best Italian places in the city. But everyone can go there, and people can fake flex out. It's really where we go, the people that know. Or people can go in there looking schlubby like I do, and those are the sneaky ballers. I'm not even saying myself. I'm saying some Arab dude in the corner with 3 sweatsuits on, he's a baller. You know what I'm saying? Or some old Chinese dude, he's a baller. You know what I mean? That's what this place is, and they got amazing cacio pepe and just amazing carpaccio, okay? And it's open late. And when I see other people in there trying to, act like, ooh, they're at a cool spot, it ain't that. The food's good. That's what it is. And the people are chill, and they know who's cool. But this guy was there, and he just had this vibe of like, hey, look at me. And I'm like, dude, if this guy didn't recognize me, which he wouldn't, he would think I'm just a fucking normal schlep, right? And these are the guys that can't deal with someone like me, because me and my ilk deal with them every night in comedy clubs. So in the real world, this guy thinks he's got it all together until he says one dumb thing from the crowd, and he gets lacerated by a guy who looks like Gilligan. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, all these guys are Mr. Hal's, and we're the fucking Gilligan's fucking crazy brother. You know what I'm saying? If you got that reference. And that's why I just laugh at the world, because comedy is so disrespected in so many ways, but it's the one thing that people need more than ever. Comedy, common sense. Common sense. That's what comedy is. Good comedy is common sense. That's why I'm so attracted to it now more than ever. I'm not saying I enjoy it sometimes, but because there's a lot of bullshit in the thing of comedy, but comedy in its purest form is common sense. And you look at something and you go, well, that's weird. Like, Bill Cosby's up for 30 years of rape, but then he gave $30 million to Temple, and instead of taking down the building, they just took his name off of it, but they kept the building. Well, that's interesting. That's what comedy is, okay? And that's what's crazy. There are comics through these last 4 years, some of them just went along with not questioning shit and attack other comics. And I'm like, you ain't a comic, man. You are a fish. You want to fucking get your bag. And a real artist, which I've never felt until these last few years I am, you shouldn't care about a bag. You should care about what you're trying to express through your art. And comedy, well, it is about making people laugh. Yes, that's the number one thing. That's why I got into it. I got into it for attention, making people laugh. But we're in wild times. So now comedy is about exposing truth, what you believe the truth is. I did a show last week. This guy's got a great show, and it's crowd work surrounded. Mike Falzone. Mike Falzone had a show called Surrounded Crowd Work, and everyone's around you, and you talk to the audience, and they were great. One guy got really mad when I brought up AI. I said, in 5 years, I'm not going to be able to say, hey, what do you do for a living, sir? Because he'll say, I was let go because of AI. And then I go, oh, I'm so sorry. And they go to the next person. But okay, what do you do, my man? He goes, I too was let go because of AI. This guy got really mad. I'm like, that's going to be crowd work in 5 years, 3 years. And then a girl said that she was a soap actress. And I was like asking her, and I guessed it was General Hospital, but I kind of didn't really know who she was. And I'm like, well, that's going to be different. She's like, no, it won't. It'll go on forever. And I'm like, okay. So that's cognitive dissonance. And they don't want to be looking at truthful things because that will have fucked them up. It's the same reason why people don't want to talk about this who got this, because it's too painful. It's like when you ask me why the Son of the Mask is, I've taken me a long time to get through it. It still stings at times. Here's an example. I'll give you a great example. I hate to give the guy, I hope he doesn't watch this, but I hate to give this person attention, but it's a good example, so I'll use it. I'm sorry if I'm ranting, but I think I'm making sense. Is why things are painful is because you have to admit it, right? And so I was at a con last week, and it was fucking fine. It was great. Everybody was there. It was no problem, no drama the whole weekend. And at the end of the weekend, you always get what I call drive-bys and looky-loos. And these are people that are really just, they're not true fans. They're cheapos. Some of them are smart. They come at the end because they know. But a lot of them won't buy anything, and they'll just come by. And not that I'm asking to buy anything, but don't bug me too much. Like, just some people are really cool. Go, hey, I really like your movie, blah, blah, blah. Or I really like Brandy. It affected me. And that's cool. It's the people that stand there and want to ask you 1,000 questions, and you're packing up, and you're tired, and you had a long weekend, and they just want to talk your ear off, and they have no regard for anything that's going on in your life. And, you know, they're not going to get anything. So when people, I try to give it to the fans who really want it, not the looky-loos, unless I'm in it, you know, if I got nothing going on and I'm all packed up and I have to sit there, of course I'll talk with you. But, you know, used within reason. So this happens. And so usually I like to save the end of the day for the volunteers, take pictures with them. They work the event, you know, stuff like that. See other people I know, take pictures with them. But, you know, you get, so this kid comes, and I'm signing something for a charity, and this guy goes, you can hear him out of the corner of his eye, of my eye, and he goes, "Oh my God! Oh, that he was in that movie," because he was looking who was at this table and who was at this table, and he goes, "Oh God!" He goes, "A sequel to Mads." He goes, "I saw that years ago." He goes, "It was fucking terrible," like that, right? This happens to me a good amount of times, and I was like, "Okay, right, whatever." Right? And then he goes, okay, so I'll let that go. And then he goes, "Oh my God, he's right there." So I'm like, I feel like they're like trying to work me, you know what I mean? But I'm like, okay, I'll just let that go. Then he kept talking loud. He's like, "Oh my God, like this is so weird," and he kept saying it. And then I'm like, now you don't have this much Asperger's, asshole. Okay, so I turn to him. I go, "You didn't like the movie, bro. What do you want me to do?" He goes, "Oh, I don't," and he goes, and his friend goes, "I just want to tell you, I loved Randy." I go, "Thanks, dude." And he goes, "By him, I don't know." And he's like, and the guy was like, "Oh my God, oh my God." You know what? I don't give a fuck. You got Asperger's, autism, whatever. Everyone says they're autistic, by the way. Stop it. We're all, and then I'm autistic. We're all autistic, okay? He wasn't autistic. This dude, it was like I gave him multiple get out of jail free cards, and he just kept talking loud. So I like, "What do you want me to do, dude? I hear what you're saying. I'm sorry I didn't like the fucking movie. And he just was like, kept standing there. It's just like, do you really want an awkward exchange after 3 days? Like, everything was fine. I'm minding my business. I said hello to your friend. And then they left. And then he's giggling. So he probably wanted to take a shot. So have I gotten through that? Yes, it's been 19 years. But why would that be painful early? Because it's a raw fucking nerve. And I want to tell this, like, I'm not going to say it now because I've been through too much, but it's like, what have you ever done in your life, bro, that somebody wanted to pay you millions of dollars from, that you've given up your life for, to try and take a chance to get the golden chalice? Have you ever slept in your car? Have you lost body organs? Have you never went to college, had no degree, didn't care, and just said, this is my goal? Have you ever lost friendships and girlfriends and never had a normal life and never got married because you had a singular fucking goal to become great? Or are you a person that just goes to a con and outside of Detroit and at the end of the day try to take a shot at somebody you saw on a movie poster? He can't handle all that. That's a baby truth. If I look into his life, I'll decimate him. But if he would have told me that 15 years ago, I would have gotten very mad and defensive. But that's the truth of what it is yes, it is painful, but I'm comfortable with it now. But there's no difference between me and a person who got the jab. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like, fuck, I wish I didn't do that. Most people. And that's why they get defensive. So that's son of the mask right here. You know what I'm saying? So, but if someone were of note, I'm not gonna say a fucking name, but there was a huge movie star one time that was at a movie, and my buddy was behind him. He was watching, and the trailer for Malibu came on, and this fucking movie star, my boy, said shit all over the trailer, and I wanted to. And this dude has everything in the world, and I'm like, why the fuck does this? And he literally has everything in the world. And my buddy said he was shitting on Malibu's to another actor that you know. And he's like, I'm like, how do you know? He's like, because I listened. And my buddy wouldn't lie because we've been through some funny shit together with this guy, actually. So it's, pettiness. I went down a rabbit hole. I'm sorry. I just can't understand how people aren't honest. And that's where we're at right now. We're in a crazy-ass time, and people don't want to look at things, and they just want to escape, or other people want to go all in. I'm just flabbergasted. So I'm going to react to a couple of things because that's what I do here.
Daddy, you spanked Mama.
You're darn tootin' I did.
That means you love her.
That's what I've been trying to tell her.
Stop it. That's just a movie called Frontier Girls. And I just think that's really funny because the way the world is today. So you should watch that movie. I'm seeing a lot of these videos of people that are shitting on LA, and already I don't trust them because it's a chick that has a tattoo right there on her wrist, and that screams like bottle girl, stripper. It's just a stupid place for a tattoo. No one who has a tattoo there ever has won a Pulitzer. So I'm going to listen to this, but I just want to hear what this person says. But again, it's these people that I've never seen before, and I guess because of social media they can talk, but it's like, I'm only doing it because it's content, but it's like, what have you been through?
Years in a month. I'm just wondering if anybody else
10 years, congratulations.
who has escaped LA.
Escaped what? The warm weather, the beautiful women, the sushi. What are you talking about? The beach? I do agree there's potholes and crime, and you do have to walk around a Coleman 10 store every day now. But what are you escaping, girl?
Has experienced what I'm experiencing or realizing
Oh my God, what have you experienced?
now. I literally have fucking LA trauma.
Okay.
And I'm realizing this as I'm in.
I just hate, hopefully it's not bad. I haven't watched this. I just hate, when people start talking fucking, like that whole fucking race of people that talk like that. It's like, what the fuck? It's not. It's a race. It's like that girl. That's like, oh my god. Like I have to fucking like that.
Interacting with people from a different state, from a different part of the country. And I have like these trust issues that I didn't even know I had. I just have this sus feeling about everyone, almost like they're going to scam me or use me or betray me. And it's not like...
Yeah, girl, because you're in LA. Guess what? You're in the biggest shark-infested waters in the world. This is South Africa of sharks. Yeah. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Do you understand? This is what I hate. I got problems with Hollywood, but at least I know what it is. You think you're going to come here? Like, by the way, don't be fooled. Yeah, people are going to scam you, but they're going to scam you. And you can get scammed in Cincinnati. You can get scammed in Lexington, Kentucky. Okay? So just don't blame it. It's like sexy to blame LA or something. It's just too much.
Like I have a ton of experiences in LA with this. I think it's genuinely like the energy, like the intuitive vibe that I am getting from people in LA. And that I've just normalized over the years. I know people say there's like this very opportunistic feel to people.
Yeah, because everyone's fighting to get the prize, girl. Okay? They ain't giving them out like candy. It's very competitive. It's playing pickup basketball at Venice Beach. It ain't easy. It's competitive. You're going to get elbows. That's part of life. It's playing ice hockey in Vancouver and the Farm League. It's competitive. It's Fashion Week in New York. It's competitive. It's Gordon Ramsay's internship at his restaurant. It's competitive. Do I need to do more?
In LA, this feeling that comes from people that's like, okay, but what can you do for me? And that's
again, that's first of all, you're in the wrong area because you're with people that are rats. So this is the type of person that gets with rats, doesn't understand how to tell a rat and avoid. They don't know how to find good people. So that's not my fault that you can't do that. Go and find good people. Okay. But number two, that can exist anywhere. But yes, of course it's prevalent here. What do you think you're coming to? A fucking ashram? Yes. This is Los Angeles. This is the fucking well of souls. Are you surprised?
Kind of how people mingle here and have friendships. I've really secluded myself, if I'm being honest, over the last few years.
Oh my God, it's so sad. Like we've all secluded ourselves, okay? Okay? You can't have a life and be great. Be great or have a life.
I've been in a relationship, so I don't really go out. I'm just kind of at home. And I miss being social, but I think that energetically, like I've just gotten so turned off to what's here, and without even consciously knowing it, I just kind of internally knew like I'm not really fucking with this anymore. And so I've been...
So why make a video about it? Why not just leave? Why make a video? Like, I hate you. You hurt my feelings, Los Angeles. I'm done with you. You're a bad person. Oh my God. And I'm leaving. Just go. Just leave. Go back to the podunk town with which you came from and podunk there. Like, you don't have to complain and be like, I was a victim. Like, I hope this doesn't end something bad, but right now I'm just like, you don't hate LA's Botox because it's all up in your lips, girl.
Having this call, like this intuitive hit every time I take some shrooms. Every time I'm getting told to move the fuck out of LA.
Okay, so
and I first got this.
Listen to the fungi.
Like 2 years ago, and then I signed a 2-year lease. So I have felt...
Break your lease is a 3-month fine.
Kind of trapped for the last 2 years, and my soul has just wanted to get the fuck out. Okay. And I know I'm not the only one feeling this because I have related to other people who have expressed the same thing and have also since moved. But I'm just curious if anybody has experienced this like post LA drama of realizing how distorted our view of reality and our view of relationships.
You've been here for 10.5 years and you're just getting this out now? It's like walking in the Walmart and not understanding that the $8 chicken is $2 chicken at 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, they mark the price down by so much money. So an $8 chicken is $2. And that's the bargain at Walmart. Like, how do you learn that the first day when you want to get a chicken at Walmart? Like, how does it take you 10 years? Listen, guys, if you like this, like, subscribe, do some shit. Peace.